Welcome to Caught Up with Candace, the podcast where we catch up on all the unfiltered topics and discussions that you want to talk about. So sit back, relax, and get caught up with Candace. Let's jump into today's episode.
Hey, how's it going today? Here we are again with Caught Up with Candace, and I have a special guest with me here today. I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. I am Tyra, aka Beautiful. If you guys know me, most of you guys might go by Beautiful, but I am here today to join with Candace for our Q&A, and we're going to begin.
Yeah, so I just want to start off with you telling us a little bit about yourself, because you know she's an entrepreneur, businesswoman with multiple businesses. So tell me a little bit about that.
Awesome. Alrighty. Well, for the past 10 years, I have done insurance. I am in the industry of protecting assets. So I'm making sure whether it's life, health, your house, your car, your jewelry, making sure everybody's good. That's the main thing. After that, I'm a mom full time. I also have my business with helping other business owners with their digital marketing. I teach people how to automate their businesses. And then I have my own little, social media agency. All around digital marketing is what I do.
Yay. And she does it well. So if you guys need that, tap in with her and she got you.
Awesome.
So I'm going to start here with today. I'm so excited because I did something a little different this time. I went and asked you guys what you guys wanted me to speak about, different topics that you wanted me to touch base on. So that's exactly what I'm going to do today. So thanks for that. Our first topic today is going to be, what advice would I give women entering their early 20s? So, oh my goodness. And it's funny because I just turned 30. So I'm not even in my 20s anymore. So I feel like I have a whole decade of experience to really explain to you guys. So basically, I feel like in your early 20s or just in your 20s in general, I feel like you need to learn to get into a routine, set a foundation for your future self. Like even I still do this now. I'll have on my fridge, I have an actual
like a planner,
like a
thing,
planner,
like a schedule, what you're doing for the day.
Every morning I wake up, I go to that planner and I write new things. And those are my goals that I need to accomplish that day. Yes. And I mark them off. And if I don't accomplish it, I'm not going to lie, I'll be thinking about it. I'll be going to sleep okay, tomorrow I'm going to try again harder and I'm going to accomplish that and I'm going to get it done.
Yes.
So what do you think about that?
That's one of the main things that I believe. I'm still in my 20s. I still got another year until I'm 30. So I'm going to soak this up. But in my 20s, yes, that was one thing that I very much believe in routines. Not only a morning routine, but a nightly routine.
Right.
Just like with yourself, going to that fridge every day and knowing that you have your time blocks, knowing that I have my must-dos. These are mandatory. These are non-negotiables. These are things that we need to make sure that we do because it's going to take us to the next level.
Right.
These are things that no matter what, it's okay, I can go ahead and go have fun, but these 3 things need to get done today.
Yeah, be intentional with being consistent and intentional.
Exactly.
Yay.
Exactly. When you kind of have that mindset, it just helps you overachieve. And then when you're looking back, you kind of 10 steps ahead. And even if you go 3 steps back, you're still ahead of the game at the end of the day because you hold yourself accountable. At night, you recap all right, this is what I did great. This is where I slacked up on. Tomorrow, we're going to tighten up on these ends and go for it again. So.
No, absolutely. I agree. And also, I feel like in these days and ages, I feel like people are scared to ask for help.
Yes.
I encourage, ask for help. Use your resources.
There's so many people out there willing to help you. That's the thing. Don't think that you have to do it by yourself. That you help me, I help you.
Me.
Yes. When it's no matter what, there's a community of people and it takes a village no matter what. And everybody needs a team at the end of the day. Yeah, you want to do it by yourself, but however, when you do ask for help, you kind of shortcut. Having a mentor, having somebody be able to show you what it's like. They've been there before. They'll tell you the do's and the don'ts. And yeah, some of us like to touch the fire, get burned and learn ourselves because I'm the same way. But at the same time, I've learned that having a mentor helped me so much in my business stuff, automating my businesses, learning different things, even the new things that are out that, oh yeah, we just learned this, but guess what? Every 6 months, something's changing.
No, absolutely. You got to stay up to date these days. I feel like time is moving real fast.
Exactly. So asking for help is definitely one of those things. Yes. In your 20s, people see that you're young. You're just getting into that adult stage. And in your 20s, honestly, I still feel like a kid sometimes. I'm not even going to lie to you.
That's so funny that you said that, because I was just saying, I was like, yo, my kid, like if I have kids to come, they're so lucky, because I like to have fun.
Exactly.
I feel young. I'm still getting carded when I go to the gas station. Like, I love it here.
It's so funny because I say that all the time. I'm like, guess how old I am? And they like underguess. I'm like, well, at least I still look young. At least I still look good.
You know, drink your water.
Exactly.
But yeah. And then also another thing that I would say to start thinking about in your 20s is like goals. Like,
oh, yes.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want you to be in your 20s thinking like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. I don't have like a 401k. I don't have like $100 million saved up. It's like, don't stress out. But this is the time of your life that you need to start planning for the future.
Exactly.
You need to start thinking about not just for today, but for like 10 years. Like, what's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? And so on and so forth. Yeah. So right now, this is the time to like put your foot on the gas and tap into what you want to do. And don't get me wrong, like, and trust me, I could speak from experience. Yeah. Like, the first thing you might try to do, it might not work for you, but do not give up. That just wasn't your path of that moment. There's always, try again, do your next thing. Like,
and it does take consistency. Mm-hmm. Do not get discouraged. Mm-hmm. That's one thing that I want to say. You get into something new. Like for me, I'm learning how to trade, like doing the day trading.
Okay.
And that takes discipline. You cannot be emotional about it. You can't just shut down, but it requires you to go in every day, challenge yourself, take on that challenge and stay consistent. Mm-hmm. If you really want something, no matter what it is that you do, with the digital marketing stuff and automating the businesses and everything that I've learned, it's like at first it was hard, but once I understood it and I did it every single day, it became easier and easier and easier. And I'm sure with you, like when it came down to cooking, whether it came down to rapping, when you did it more and more, the more that you performed, the better that you got, the more that everything flowed. Like, go ahead and speak on that. Is that not true? Like your goal to go ahead and perfect it at the end of the day, it just required that consistency behind
absolutely.
it.
Like I told myself, and this is another good point, I said like, no matter what business you start or venture, if you wake up and do one thing every day to go towards that business or venture, by the end of the week, you've completed so many things. Sometimes you got to write it down, put a date on it.
Exactly.
That's a huge thing. Oh my God. Like, don't get me wrong. I am not scared to ask for advice, listen to people's stories, especially if they're doing better than me. Like I've been told so many times, if you have a goal, write it down, not just write it down, but put a date on it. Cause once you put a date on it, it's like
you hold yourself accountable.
Exactly. Accountability.
Exactly.
Accountability, consistency.
And you can look back at it and be like, show that as your proof. Like, yo, I said this and by this time I accomplished that and I did not give up. Even if it wasn't that exact date that I did it, I still made sure every single day I put it towards that. So I completely agree with you when you say that.
Okay, guys, that was great. We hit a lot of great points that I feel like. Let's go on to this next topic, which is getting a little crazy around here. But yeah, so the next topic that one of my lovely followers introduced to us, how do you feel about a man cheating, but he pays the bills?
Oh, God.
Okay, so it depends. First, the question is, what is cheating? Let's break that down. Like Tyra, what from your perspective is cheating? What's considered cheating?
I think for me, cheating is just becoming sexual with the person. I'm going to say that. I don't take texting as cheating. I don't take that conversation as cheating. Don't look at me crazy. I don't take that as cheating. I take the intimacy. Mm-hmm. If you're going out your way to spend money, wine, dine, getting intimate with the person, spending that quality, cute time, like, I feel like that is sleeping. I would say you end up leading up to sleeping with that person, because I feel like it doesn't just jump into that. Maybe some people might jump into be sexual with the person. I just take that physical interaction, being intimate in the bed is cheating.
Okay, so
if we're texting, and I understand this because I have a lot of male friends,
right?
And I know where to draw that line.
Okay.
You're not going to come on to me. We can go out, we can hang out. Even though your intention might be different, but you respect that line, I don't take that as cheating.
Okay, so I'm going to have to disagree.
Oh my God.
And the reason why I disagree, let's start off by saying, I feel like, and I have brothers, so I
Me
see
too.
from both points of view.
I have 5 brothers and I'm the only girl.
So, I'm not going to be biased here. And I feel like women, they talk and get emotionally connected with a guy
Very true.
for future, for a future. Men, I feel like they could just sleep with a girl and then tomorrow be like, hey babe, they all booed up with you like nothing happened. Women, we connect a little differently. So I feel like, my personal opinion, I feel like if you're texting somebody, hey babe, how you doing? Stuff like
Okay.
that is cheating.
Well, using
anything that you would not do in front of your significant other, I'm not going to say that's flat out cheating, but it's definitely crossing the line.
Crossing the line, yes. I wouldn't really say it's cheating, but using those little pet names, babe, boo, love, no, you ain't
That's
doing
how
that.
it starts.
No.
And
But
then
yes.
you already know how it ends up.
Exactly. No. So I get what you're saying to that extent, but I feel like it's more of that physical, and it's only because, everybody's not like me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the type that I will draw that line. I will let you know, yes, I do have somebody here. I am in a relationship. It's not like that door is not open. And if you do want to continue to work with me, let's say in business, because you know how it is doing business with men.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, oh, they see a female with so much drive and it's so attractive to them. And they're like, oh, I want a piece of that. Or I need you closer. I want to do business with you. I want to spend more time with you.
They have ulterior motives in a way, I feel like.
Exactly. Yes. So it's like at that same time, I'm like, okay, well, look, if we're going to do business, we're going to do business. We can do that. We can hang out. We'll go have lunch. We can talk business, do whatever. But it's going to be that. Until it crosses that line, my job is to distance myself.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's not like that.
Okay.
So I get what you're saying, because women's intentions are very different. And when they see that, like, let's say it's your man, for an example, and he has a female friend, and we, just like with your mindset, I already know what she wants out of you. Why are you even entertaining that? Oh, and he tells you, well, you trust me. You know what that line goes. You know I'm not going to try you. And this is exactly, I experienced it with my man. He has plenty of friends, female friends, and I know that I can trust him. Nothing about that. Not now, but
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
So then are you okay with, or do you think it's crossing the line to, like, let's say you're dating somebody and they were talking to somebody, like flirtatious with somebody, and then they got with you, is it okay for them to still have like casual conversations?
I would say no.
No. Why?
No. Because their intent, the female's intention
is already there.
Exactly.
It's already crossed the line. Yeah, I feel like once you cross the line with somebody, there's no going back.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
It's like you already see them in this way. There's
exactly. Like,
yeah, it's not happening.
And if you guys did maybe kiss and already shared that intimacy to a certain extent, that spark is always going to spark up.
But not even that, not even intimate. I'm talking about like
Just
even
text,
like the little pet names. Like, it's like, hey baby, I want to do this, do that. No, it's there's nothing after that. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, to speak on cheating and stuff like that, I feel like I believe in soul ties. I feel like
but that comes into with intimacy, like sleeping with people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I feel like once you, I can't speak for anybody else, but how I am, once I sleep with you, it's like, we're so tired. You're my man now.
I
Call
agree.
everybody, cut them off. You're my man now. We're locked in. And that's what it is, because I feel like I'm a true believer of, like, say I did sleep with another man.
Yeah.
When I come back home to you, I'm not going to feel the same. I'm going to be looking like...
And that's what makes, as you said, women different from men.
Because men could go sleep with a girl, I feel like. Well, some men. We got some,
the majority of men.
I heard, from what I heard, they could go sleep with a woman, come home, and they won't even think about that woman again. It was like just that moment. And they love you.
I don't even
whatever.
believe that, but I don't even want to go there, because what I've seen and witnessed, I'm like, yeah, you ain't fooling me.
I just feel like
you can't even convince me different.
No, exactly.
Like,
you just are intuition. But so I feel like, just if you respect yourself as a woman and you value yourself,
you hold a certain standard.
You're going to hold a certain standards, and you're not going to let that happen.
Exactly.
So, because I'm not going to lie, I've been in situations where a man was paying the bills, and I'm not gonna like necessarily say he cheated like sexually, but like the little smaller things. And don't get me wrong, they could have been giving me the world, but at the end of the day, my self-respect is way higher than that.
Exactly.
And I'll literally leave all of that for my dignity and my self-respect at the end of the day. I don't know if that's my Sagittarius.
No. I completely agree, because I'm the same exact way. When it comes down to it, it's like, this is my man. There should be no other female that has that access to you when it comes down to it. Oh, yeah, you have your friends and yeah, everything goes. But no, we share that intimacy. Right. And the simple fact that if we're sleeping together, like, just like you said, your intuition, my body's going to let me know. Like, I don't care if you're 100,000 miles. I don't care if you're across the world.
Right.
Like, if I feel something's off, and I tell you, I already went through it, like 9 times out of 10, I'm right. And I am the type that I'm gonna talk to you about it. Nobody's perfect. If you're gonna cheat, or if you have cheated, I'm expecting you to be a man about it. And I'm like, if I confront you to it, don't be in denial. Don't sit there and blame it on me. You did what you wanted to do at the end of the day.
Right.
Hold up to it, and so be it.
You made your bed, lay in it.
Exactly.
So I feel like a lot of men, I feel like wealthy men feel like they just have that free card of I could cheat because they feel like their women needs them. That's why I like to tell my women, never put yourself in a position to need a man. Exactly. I feel like if a man is taking care of you and life is good, invest into a business so that if God forbid something happens,
like, you have your
backup plan. Because one thing, not just men, but narcissistical men, when they know that they have that much of control over you and they feel like you cannot live without them, they will literally use that for their advantage. They'll literally be like, oh, I paid the bill, she's gonna listen to me, she's gonna let me cheat, she's gonna let me do that. No, like, that's not happening. Have your own, so that you can always hold yourself on that pedestal, and you don't have to lower yourself to make another man feel good like you need him.
Exactly. No, and I completely agree with that. I hate the word narcissist. I hate it so much because I just feel like it puts such a title on men, and I think it's more of a spiritual thing. Like, no, yeah, I'm very in tune on my spiritual side. I believe in God and everything like that. So even when it comes down to a lot of the stuff that I believe, I feel like it's just a spirit that they're dealing with. And that's why I try to work around it. But I've learned that narcissistic people, whether it's men or females, because it doesn't just go to gender, it's both sides of it. I know that I have seen narcissistic women, and I'm just like, the hell is wrong with you? Like, what? I could never. And people look at me like I'm crazy, but I'm like, you crazy. Like, but I completely agree with that. You just have to hold your standard. I don't care how much money you have. The money is there temporary. I don't even want to say temporarily, but if you have billions and billions, it's not okay to cheat. I mean, if you find somebody that wants to cheat, like, if a woman is open to that relationship and you guys get there, all right, cool. Then you have somebody, but you guys have to set that expectation in the relationship at the very front. And that's another
thing I was just talking about, because I feel like setting expectations, when you set your standards and let somebody know how they cannot deal with you or play with you.
Correct.
Like, literally just the other day I had a situation where I for example, it was a doctor's appointment for my son, and they basically were like, oh, you got to come in for a follow-up appointment. And I'm like, I've already did a follow-up appointment. And I'm like, listen, if you guys can't find that appointment in your book, take my son out of your establishment and I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Literally, not even 5 minutes later, calls me. Oh, I'm so sorry, we found a mistake. You got to let people know how not to play with you.
Exactly.
Same thing with dating. And to each its own. Same with dating though. If you're dating somebody and you're pulling up to a spot, I'm sitting like this. Go open my door.
No, exactly. No, you gotta let them know. They're not gonna be a mind reader. They're
exactly.
Not.
Sometimes you gotta be a body language reader. Like, you see, I'm still sitting. We're parked, so open the door. Sometimes you gotta, and then after a few times of doing that, you shouldn't have to do it no more. It should it should be automatic. You know what I'm saying? So to get on the next topic that we have is, what's some ups and downs in the industry? What's some ups and downs in the industry? And oh my goodness. So
I've had my own ups and downs.
So what have been some of your ups and downs?
Some of my ups and downs are just...
Let's start with the ups. What have been some positive things you've dealt with in the industry or benefited out of?
As I mentioned, I'm still in my 20s. So this goes into the asking for help and being guided in certain things. So they cut corners. So that was one thing. I've had people that were willing to help me. People willing to see that I have like an ear for music. Mainly my brother, he's in the studio. My dad, he's been a DJ in New York. He has his production stuff. So I've been
you already had that background.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've always had an attention to music and the ear for when I see people, even the potential of people. Okay. And they noticed that from me. They're like, oh my God, you see this? Oh, I want you in the studio. Da 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 da. I mean, you've witnessed it as well. Like whenever we talk about certain things when it comes down to music. And when people started to see that I would just put my 2 cents in just to help somebody, they were like, oh yeah, we want you over here. Oh, you see this? Oh, let me show you this really quick. And it just sharpened that side of it. So I enjoyed it because when I had that exposure and people there to help me, it was great.
You were learning a lot of things.
Exactly.
And you were able to like apply that to help other people.
Exactly.
Okay.
And not in every environment. And that's what I was going to say about the downs. But in some environments that when they seen that, it wasn't like a threat. That's another thing. Like they were able to see like, oh my God.
They embraced it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I appreciated that because I'm like here like, oh, I don't have the most experience. I'm not working with a A-list artist or anything like that. But
you got to start from somewhere.
Exactly.
To get to the next level.
So when I did get in those environments and those people did keep me close, I was able to help people that are upcoming artists, people that have touched the industry even now, just have that. And me being able to manage, being able to put people on stage, being able to network and being in those environments and being very confident in that, like...
So you feel like it built your confidence?
Yes, exactly. Okay. So that was my up.
So those are some of the positive things. And to go off of that, I feel like, yeah, a lot of positive things for me is I feel like I've learned a lot. Like I could go back to the first day I was on set, just, and I'm like... I probably didn't have everything I was supposed to have. I probably wasn't on point. And it's just like the more sets and more action that I threw myself into, it's like I'm 10 steps ahead. I'm Mary Poppins with my purse. I'm pulling, oh, I need this. I need that. You need this fit. Oh, I got it. You just learn and you go with it. And I also feel like in the industry, it could get a little tricky because like, don't get me wrong, there's positive things, but there's also negative things. And to get into that, like, of course, I've been in crazy situations. Like one situation in particular, I would never forget. And it was crazy. So I was in the studio with my manager at the time. And I'm like, yo, this producer, he used to work with P. Diddy. Mm-hmm. He used to be, so he said, who knows at this point. But he basically was like, oh, I want to work with you. I feel like we could do some great music together. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's get it. So he pulls up to the studio with this Colombian girl. Like, I'm talking about beautiful Colombian girl. And she has like his chain that says his name on and everything. And I'm like, okay, so he's legit. He came in with a pretty girl. Yeah. All right. And we literally recorded the whole half of the song. It was killer. Like the vibe in the studio was just amazing. We were bouncing ideas off of each other. Everything was good. So then it came to the end of the session. He left and he's gone for about 5-10 minutes. I get a text on my phone and I look at my phone and I'm getting inappropriate pictures and videos of him and the Colombian girl that was just in here. And I'm like,
oh God,
what is going on? And he's like, I want you. Like, oh my God, like the vibe that we had in the studio, it was unmatched. And I realized I want you. And I'm looking at him like, oh, I didn't even respond. Do business like this. Screamed. I was like, ah! I screamed and threw my phone and I didn't know what to do. I literally just try to act like I didn't see it.
Yeah.
But I was so passionate about that song. I let like a week or two go by and then I finally hit him up and I'm like, hey, I have this studio session. I'm going to book for us to finish the song. And he's like, oh yeah, go ahead, book it. That's going to be dope. So I booked it. Nice studio. I'm not going to mention the name, but really one of the main studios that artists go to in Miami and record at. And so I get there, got my whole team, got the whole bottle set up, everything's ready to go. And I'm an hour into the session and he's still not there. What? And I'm like, what's going on? I look at my phone And I have a text message from him and he's like, oh, I'm coming. And I'm like, all right, cool. Another hour goes by. So I'm extending the studio session and I'm like, hey, are you going to be here? If you're not, just let me know. I damn near finished the song by myself. And he's like, I'm going to be real with you. There's 2 things in life that I like: money and pussy. And I don't want your money. And I was my heart dropped. And I'm like, all the hard work that I put in the studio all the time is done because I'm not. So I ended up finishing the studio session. He was not there. Months go by. I'm sitting on this song and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, what should I do? And I hit up one of my mentors. Remember, we were talking about having a mentor is amazing. He's actually pretty known in Miami. Really, really dope. I'm not going to say his name, but I went to him and I was like, this is the situation. This is what happened. He's basically telling me he's not going to give me this song if he don't get this, which he's not getting. So I was like, what do you think I should do? He listens to the song and he's like, yo, I'm not going to lie. This song is fire. Like, I'm not going to lie. What you need to do, drop the song, deal with the legal stuff later. And what did I do? I dropped the song and I haven't heard nothing back from that weird producer, but I dropped the song. Sometimes you just got to do what you do. Exactly. Like, do not let this industry change you guys. Don't get me wrong. It is not easy. You're going to be tried. You're going to be tested. You're going to have tribulations. Yeah. You're going to have people think that you're willing to do certain things.
They think that you're weak. And that's the thing, especially when you're coming in. They think that you're weak. And if you stay true to yourself and you hold that standard and you are able to be like, nah, and you can close that door without compromising yourself and your identity and how you walk in life, the respect that people end up having for you is a completely different respect line. And then just like you, there's just certain people that are going to be a part of your journey and there's just those people that are not. And he clearly was not a part of that journey. And it was something that didn't stop you. Right. And that's one thing that I absolutely love about her, because that's one thing that I constantly say, no matter what, it's like she has something that she wants to do. She brings it to life. She executes it and she lets nothing get in her way. It doesn't have to even be perfect.
And
she just
God
does
comes down himself and tells me, Candace, you should not be doing this. I'm going to do it.
Exactly. So that just goes into like all the topics that we've talked about so far, just being consistent, having that goal, setting it, just giving your all, honestly, and just being encouraged with everything. But yes,
do you have any like
negative,
crazy, like,
I wouldn't say it was just so crazy. I mean, it just stung me the wrong way. Do you have
any like downs in the industry that
it's just they tend to compromise, and it's just like when people talk about selling your soul, that's one thing that I'm going to say. Your actions, nobody really sells their soul and says, I'm selling my soul and signing it. When you agree to something, and it might be unintentional because a lot of people that are coming in are blind to what the industry has. The industry is dark. I mean, you see all the craziness that's been released. Cat Williams done put everybody out. Yes. And honestly, it's the truth. And I believe that with it all, the downs are like you end up selling yourself without really knowing that you're selling yourself, because now somebody else is managing everything that you're doing and you have no choice but to do this because you signed a legal contract in this. So you start doing things, you get into this lifestyle and you don't realize that you're selling your soul.
Okay.
And I just feel like that's the downside of it, because you just unconsciously end up compromising yourself without really realizing that you end up crossing those lines. But I've had my share of experiences, something similar to that, and just dealing with it. But all in all, I just say, stay true to yourself.
Yes. As long as you stay true to yourself, I feel like you could dodge those type of things.
Exactly.
You just got to be mentally strong, especially in this industry.
Very true.
But yeah, I feel like we touched bases on that. Great. Our next topic is, how has social media impacted the way we form relationships and communicate with others in general? And it's so funny because the first thing that comes to my mind when I see it was Valentine's Day.
Oh, gosh.
And the reason why I say that is because, like, I'm scrolling down I'm on Valentine's Day. I'm scrolling down my Instagram and I'm seeing girls getting Chanel bags, like a whole bunch of different crazy stuff. And it's like, people be looking at that and be like, oh, if my man didn't get me that, he must not love me. And it's like, no, like, you gotta look at this. Like, them girls,
You don't know what they did to get
You
that.
don't know what they did to get those bags. You don't know what their man is doing when they're not getting bags. Like
And
that man that did the genuine thing for you, like he loves you for real. Like focus on the real love, not the one that you see on social media. Like I know people that they got 100,000 followers on Instagram, ain't got a pot to piss in. They don't got they head on right. Like mentally, financially, and spiritually, they're gone.
Disconnected.
Like it's girls. Like you know what they say. I'd rather cry in a rose. What? How would
I rather cry in a Rolls Royce than be. Whoa, I can't even think about it.
But it'd be the same girls crying in the Rolls Royce that are miserable.
Like they'd rather be alone than to be crying in a Rolls Royce.
Yes.
That's what we've reversed it. But
You know
yes,
what I'm
they
saying?
rather just be with themselves and be more at peace and just be alone than to be lied to be bought out. Like you're not gonna buy me. Do I look like that? Do I look like I need to be bought?
Exactly. I mean, we look like nice
look good, but I'm priceless. That's it. I'm priceless. You can't buy me. You can't buy my love. You're not gonna. No.
So I feel like, and then I feel like it's impacted us also because don't get me wrong, I'm old school. I miss those relationships back in the day where like there was no social media, nothing to like compare your life and your friendship and your relationships to. It was just all genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, like a lot of girls, they'll look at a girl's Instagram and be like, oh my God, she's perfect. Her skin's perfect. Her butt's perfect. Her boots perfect. But it's like, do you know all the apps that they use to get that? Like, don't judge that book by its cover because you don't know what it looks like in real life. You know what I'm saying? So be happy with yourself. Like that's the best piece of advice that I could honestly give somebody.
Yeah, but on the opposite side too, for social media, I say use it like we were talking about goal setting. If you see something that you do want and there is somebody that has it, like for an example, even myself, I'm working with people that do trade. I've seen the luxury of what trading can buy. I have 3 kids as a single mom. That shit is not easy. It does not come easy at all. And with day trading, I can buy my time back because I'm able to invest into something. So yes, it takes money to make money. So I'm investing into something that I'm able to get a better return on than working a 9-to-5, still being able to be fully present with my children. That right there is a whole nother thing. So social media has been able to, 1, give me access to the people that are doing it, 2, to find my mentor that's being able to do that, 3, set a goal. So when you're looking at social media should be used as, like, for me, money making, because that's exactly where I make most of my money when I hustle. And 2, goal setting. So it's like, shift that perspective. Even though like maybe you do see that girl get that Chanel bag and you're in a relationship, and guess what? If you guys are working together he might be saying, I can't wait to get my girl a Chanel bag. Like, I can't wait till this money comes in. I can't wait till I hit my next trade so that I can go ahead and give that to her, because I know that it might make her happy just for her to have that in that moment. Yeah. And it's not just a negative thing on social media, but just having that standard and, again, staying true to yourself, having that and having a different perspective of how you view social media and how you can use it to your advantage.
No,
so
absolutely.
I feel like it could go both ways with that.
No, absolutely. No, absolutely. Oh my God. And then people was asking me crazy questions.
Oh my God.
I feel like we've touched base on pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
I mean, I feel like those were some good questions. Your followers hit some pretty good points.
No,
I'm sure that there was a lot of questions. So,
yeah, there was more. There was something I'm not going to say, but I appreciate you guys reaching out and asking them. But yeah, that's all, you guys. And thank you for tuning in to Caught Up with Candace.
Yes, it was a pleasure for you guys having me. I hope to see you guys soon. You guys stay tapped in, and she will be back next week with another episode with Caught Up with Candace.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap on another episode of Caught Up with Candace. Thank you so much for tuning in and keeping up with all the latest topics and discussions. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and review the podcast on your favorite platform. Your feedback means a lot. Stay connected with Candace on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes moments, and sneak peeks into upcoming episodes. You can find Candace on Instagram at Caught Up with Candace. Remember, stay informed, stay inspired, and stay connected. Until next time, keep shining and staying caught up with Candace. See you next time.